right. All right. Little different angle for the camera tonight. But what a wild win for the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight as they take down the best team in the National Hockey League in the Colorado Avalanche. And just pure dominance, pure great. Honestly, there's so much you could talk about. The first period was very opposite of what we've expected, but we're going to talk about it. As you know, this episode, and as all episodes, are brought to you by Rogue Energy. I needed it. I was drinking a lot of it during the first period, second period. There's still some in here, so I'm going to chug it right now. But go to rogueenergy.com. That's rogueenergy.com. Bear with me here. I'm by myself. I think Josh passed out, which is fine. I get it. It's late. Totally get it. But Josh is MIA. And I'm losing my mind because it's late. So bear with me. Thank you guys for joining. But this episode's brought to you by Rogue Energy. Make sure you go to rogueenergy.com/Pens Collective and use promo code TPC10 for 10% off your entire purchase. West Coast trip, you definitely need some Rogue Energy. I needed it today, so make sure you guys get it today. So, all right. Wake up, Josh. Yeah, we'll talk about it, but first of all, cover your ears. Welcome to the Penguins Collective Podcast.
It's Crosby on Kunitz and shot. Penguins win it! Sees part for Crosby to the goal. He scores! Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me? And on fade, the shot. He scores! Here's Crosby with a burst of speed up the middle. Gets all and scores! They're a collective. Andy Kyoto is beating Ninamaki's brains in. What a show!
Well, welcome to the Penguins Collective Podcast. My name's Louie. Like I said, Josh is out cold. He's a father of 3, so I don't expect him to stay up for 12:30 right now as we just kind of break down a late game against the Colorado Avalanche. Like I said, fantastic game by the Pittsburgh Penguins. We're definitely going to talk about it. But first, let me just acknowledge everyone in the chat. Armand, more hockey cards. Ethan, 22 Wolves. Dad, hello. Craig, NES Addict. Did the Pens win? The answer is yes. Corey, hello. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Make sure wherever you're watching, whether it's YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, or X, make sure you follow, like, hit all the notifications. It really does go a long way. It helps. We're trying to grow the podcast, and we can't do it without you. So please, if you don't mind liking, it really does go a long way. Also, join our Discord. We have a Discord where we talk live during the games. That's what you'll probably hear as I'm recording right now. You're going to hear the Discord notification, so make sure you go to our bio. The Discord link is right there. Hopefully someone could put the Discord link in the chat so it'll be easier for you guys, but make sure you join. It's greatly appreciated. We're trying to grow the community, trying to grow the podcast. We see a lot of follows on Twitter, which is appreciated. We're trying to get a lot of stuff going, so we appreciate your help in that. What is up for today? What a game indeed, and let's talk about it as the Pittsburgh Penguins absolutely just bulldoze over the best hockey team in the National Hockey League. It's just unbelievable the way they came and played against this team. I thought this was going to be a blowout. I thought we were going to get destroyed. by the Colorado Avalanche, and instead it was the opposite. So very good surprise. Malkin, Brageau, it's their first game back, and I have to acknowledge this. Malkin played a fantastic game, but of course, his first shift, he gets called for a penalty, and I couldn't help but laugh because that's just a very Malkin thing to do. But what an unbelievable goal by Malkin. The backhanded reminds me of 2016. We have it in our intro, the pipe going in, a bar down going in off the pipe. Fantastic goal. It reminded me of that. Just a great goal by Evgeny Malkin. You'd love to see him active. He did have a good jump in his step tonight. And that fourth line was messed up because Blake Lizotte is out. They moved Soderblom down, so it was Dewar, Soderblom, and Achari, and they were probably our best line tonight. And Soderblom got his first goal tonight. And the end of the first period was 4-2 Pittsburgh. So just phenomenal play. They came ready. Pittsburgh Penguins, they came ready, and that's just what you like to see. You like to see the Penguins do it. You have to. You have to come when you're playing the best team in the National Hockey League. You gotta show up with some kind of tenacity, some kind of grit, and that's exactly what we did. It was one of those games where we clearly weren't the most talented team on the ice. We weren't. Obviously, that goes to Colorado. Look at the McKinnon goal. Look at the way they moved the puck. Look at the way they did everything they needed to do on special teams, whether it was a penalty kill or a power play. They knew what to do. Whereas the Pittsburgh Penguins were kind of just flying by the seam of our pants there, and we somehow got the win. And I think that's what it was. I think that's been the story without Sidney Crosby. The team has just been gritty. The team has been downright aggressive. They've been moving the puck, but in I guess a way to say it is a very lucky bounce, the puck was going our way tonight. And I think that's okay. We're going to take that and we're going to run with it and we're going to be okay with the puck going our way. It's all right. I think the Penguins played phenomenal. They obviously were the better team later in the game because they've obviously had this massive goal lead. Yeah, I just want to try to give everyone their flowers. Brian Rust played well. Soderblom got his goal. He looked good on the fourth line. Achari got a goal. Malkin got 2 goals. That was a very good comeback from him. And then, am I missing a goal? Mantha, of course. Mantha on that breakaway with a beautiful feed from Erik Karlsson. And Mantha's just been on fire. He gets a career high in goals. He's currently sitting at a 1-year contract at $2.5 million. So I know we've been screaming, hey, let's re-sign Evgeny Malkin, but let's also have that conversation of re-signing Mantha. He seems to be really playing well here in Pittsburgh. So all these guys giving shout-outs. I think they did a heck of a job tonight. The Penguins played really, really well, and that's all you can ask, especially without Sid. I didn't think they were going to be that competitive tonight, but they found a way to win, and they found a way to do it in a dominant fashion. So it was fantastic. And last but not least, the guy that made everything happen tonight, the way that the Penguins were allowed to dominate, was with the help of Arthur Shelovs. Shelovs played out of his mind tonight. He knew what he had to do. He stood on his head. He made some massive saves, especially some saves in the second period where there was a little bit of life for the Colorado Avalanche. Arthur Shelovs knew exactly what to do. He played his position really well. Another thing that I kind of liked that I don't think they talked about in between, which was and I'm sorry saying a lot, but what he did was there was a Colorado Avalanche. I don't know who it was, but he got behind Shelovs, and Shelovs kind of pinned him in there for a little bit. And I thought that was a nice little moment where just a situation, a play situation. I'm trying to think of the word. Situation awareness. Situational awareness. I think that's what I'm trying to think of. and Artur's Shilovs just had that awareness. He played well. He did a great job. There's nothing you could do about that first goal from McKinnon. Just a beauty of a shot, and it's Nathan McKinnon coming at 90 miles an hour up center ice. There's not really much you can do for that. So other than that, Shilov's played phenomenal, but you got to give the TPC player of the game to Evgeny Malkin. Great return back, 2 goals. He had a phenomenal night, and he helped the Penguins lead. He helped lead this Penguins team that was counted out, that they were definitely the, I guess you would say, underdogs in this game, but they played a fantastic game. And you got to thank Malkin. You got to thank Erik Karlsson, who continues to play well on defense. You got to thank the fourth line with Achari and Dewar and the way they responded with Soderblom, Mantha once again with just he's on fire. I think he's on a 3-game goal stretch. So yeah, Mantha's been great too. You got to give him his flowers. You got to give Malkin his flowers. So what a great game by the Pittsburgh Penguins. Once again, I thought we were going to lose this game. It's Colorado Avalanche. But this team keeps on giving me hope with the fact is that was a possible Stanley Cup final. Am I going a little too crazy there with that? 3 stars of the game. Third star was Rusty. Second star was Erik Karlsson, and then the first star was Evgeny Malkin. Yeah, I think that's really good. Yeah, thanks Armand and the Pens win for that. Armand says I'm gonna throw it up. Per Josh Yoe. Gino says he wants to play another year or maybe 2. Says he and Dubas talked and agreed to discuss things this summer. Listen, I don't know. Malkin's playing well, but to say, can you give me 2 more years? Sometimes I think take nostalgia out of it. He's having a good year, yes. Max, I would re-sign him for a year. 1 year. That's 100% what I would do. I'm trying to separate the two from nostalgia. Because, you take a player like Crystal Tang, which is his contract is based on nostalgia. So if he wasn't nostalgic, if he wasn't part of the core, he would be gone by now. Malkin, I'm trying to think, is he very similar to like a Mantha and Brageau without the nostalgia? You have to take the nostalgia out of it. I feel like that's the case with Evgeny Malkin. You have to take the nostalgia out of it. Obviously, nostalgia, of course, will play a part. But I'm trying to think of for re-signing him. I don't want to re-sign him for 2 years. Because when he has money in his pocket, his play dips. And we saw it for the last couple years. When he's secure in his contract, he doesn't play the greatest. He has good numbers, but that's pretty much it. If he wants 2 years, then the average has to go to 3, and he won't. So here's the problem that I have with Evgeny Malkin. I've said it before on the podcast, and I'll say it again. He's a very selfish hockey player, whereas Sid is the complete opposite, which is why I gravitate more towards Sid. Sid's willing to take a hometown discount. Sid is willing to do what's better for the team. Malkin does what's better for him. Malkin will do anything that he gets paid. We saw it when he fleeced Hextall for the extension where he got overpaid. And now here we are again where him and Kyle Dubas can't see eye to eye, so they decide to just move it to the summer. That's what's going on. It's clear as day that Malkin wants more money than what he is worth. And Dubas isn't willing to pay that. Dubas is not willing to pay that. You know why? Because he has his eyes on the future. And Malkin's only here for 2 years tops. And I'm sure Evgeny Malkin wants north of 4 million, 5 million per year. He's already making what? 6? What is he making currently? I could look this up. Malkin contract. Don't worry, guys. I'm on it. He's at a 4-year, 6.1. All right. He's on a 4-year. It's ending at a 6.1. I guarantee he wants north of that. And Dubas can't give it to him. You know why? He doesn't want Malkin to. If Malkin came into Dubas's office right now after this game and said, "Hey, you know what? I'm feeling good. I think I could do 2 more years. Let's do 4, or as Armand says, I'll do it for 3 million per year. I'll do it for 3 million. I'll even take less than that for longevity." If he said that, we would have a notification tomorrow morning of saying for sure. That's a no-brainer to me because it's cheap. You know, if worst case scenario you can get out of that contract, I don't think that would happen. I'm just saying as a GM mindset, you can get out of that contract. But with Evgeny Malkin, he wants money. And that's my problem with him. He's very selfish. You saw it tonight again. He takes bad penalties. But then it's so he's a problem child because I don't know how to quite phrase it. Because he does stuff like taking a penalty, stealing pucks from his own players. He did it tonight twice. But then he scores like that. He scores from a nice feed from Chinikov. He scores on that beautiful turnaround shot. And then you're like, you know, your hands are tied because he does crap that annoys you, but then he also scores. Whereas Sid just is literally God's perfect child. And, you know, you battle with that. So, and then you have Chris Letang, who's just the kid in the corner, you know, eating glue. And that's how I feel the core is. You have the perfect child, which is Sid. Then you have the troublemaker, which is Evgeny Malkin. And then you have Chris Letang in the corner eating glue because that's what he's good for. So that's where I'm at with Evgeny Malkin. I'm at the point where let's just move on. And I think that with Chris Letang too. Chris Letang wasn't even existent tonight. He didn't even do anything. And now I'm starting to think was he even on the ice tonight, which would be a great thing. But Armand says he is a child that will use crayons on the wall and then give you flowers. Yeah, that's Malkin. That's Malkin. And then you're like, oh, that's sweet of you. Thank you for the flowers. But now I have to clean the wall. That's Malkin to me. And that's my relationship with Malkin. So if you guys ever consider, oh, Louis hates Malkin. No, he's the problem child for me. He annoys me. But he also does great things like tonight. And then you're like, it's like sweet and sour. It's like the Sour Patch Kids. That's what he is. He's first, you know, sour, then he's sweet. And then you're like, I guess we'll keep him. Whereas Sidney Crosby is, you know, like I said, God's perfect child. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with him. I can't say that I want him for another 2 years. I don't think, you know. Well, all right, and I'll address these two. First, IR3K, welcome to the stream. Give flowers to Clifton. I 100% agree with you. He did a great job. He stood up for Gino. He fought. He laid out some massive hits. That's what you need, especially playing a very talented team like Colorado. So, yes, Clifton as well. Flowers to him as well. Let's address the comment here. Louis, we don't win any of our cups without Malkin. He's a legend. This Malkin bashing is in bad taste, in my opinion. So love you, though. I hear you, but I don't know if you heard me before. I'm trying to take nostalgia out of it for the future. Obviously, he did a lot for us. That's not what I'm saying, but that's why I'm trying to dissect how I'm feeling about Evgeny Malkin. So with the nostalgia factor, of course, you want to keep him on as long as you want, as long as you can. You want to sign him to an extension. I agree with you, but I'm trying to take what's best for the new direction of this team because Sidney Crosby is still the best player on this team, regardless. Malkin's, suspension or no suspension, Crosby is still our better player than Malkin. So now you have to start thinking, okay, well, who are we going to pay more attention to, right? Because if we're going with the plan of the retooling, well, man, we really need someone else that's a little bit younger on that second line. He's kind of a nuisance on the second line because we have a center and he got moved to a wing, and we're trying to just figure out what to do with him for nostalgia's sake. So that's my argument. That's where I'm like, I don't know what to do with him. We're trying to build for the future, but yet here he is saying that he would like to play for 2 more years. 2 more years? So we're just going to prolong winning a cup because what, Malkin? And I'm sorry, I think you need to ask yourself a question. Would you rather a Stanley Cup than have Evgeny Malkin on your team for another year? And at me, it's a no-brainer. I want another cup. Now, Crosby is a different situation. Once again, he's the better player. He's the leader of this team. I don't think Malkin leads this team the way Sid does. Sid actually is the captain. You know what I'm saying? Like his day-to-day stuff, I think speaks volumes. I don't think Malkin does that. I'm sure he like chats during the game, encourages guys, sure, but that doesn't make a captain. What makes a captain is your stuff that you do off the ice and what you do. And I don't think Evgeny Malkin does that because no one talks like that about Evgeny Malkin. I feel like they talk more about Chris Letang like that than they do about Evgeny Malkin. But I digress on that. What I'm trying to say is that Sid is the guy that you still use in a transition. Malkin is one of those guys you move on from. Now, nostalgia makes you keep that guy, right? Nostalgia makes you keep Evgeny Malkin. Let's say Evgeny Malkin came in, well, I mean, our cups are semi-recent, right? So 16, 17. Let's say our cups were down the road a little bit. Like, say, our last cup was, maybe we went a three-peat, 09, 10, 11, right? So let's say we had that. By this time, we would probably have already moved on from him and Chris Letang. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't for nostalgia's sake and all that, he would have already probably been gone if this was a retooling process. But he's only here for nostalgia. Now, granted, he's a good hockey player. I've never said he's not a good hockey player. Now, Chris Letang, on the other hand, is a completely different conversation. He is here strictly for nostalgia's sake, and we can't get out of his contract. That's the only reason why Chris Letang is here. That's the only reason. IR3K says, Malkin does not hurt this team. He has... Oh, wait, I threw up the wrong thing. Malkin does not hurt this team. He's a point per game person player at very reasonable cap hit. Young players also... But it's not a reasonable cap hit, though. That's the point. He's at 6.1, and now he's probably asking for more. Young players also benefit from being around Gino. Look at Shinny. Okay, Shinny. All right, let me address this. Let me dissect this comment because there's a lot there. First, you're right. I'm not going to disagree with you. Where is it? Malkin does not hurt this team. You're right. This is why I'm having... trying to think of good words. This is why I'm having a dilemma about Malkin. Is because you're right. He's, first of all, nostalgia. I want him here. Second, but here... All right, let me really quickly. If he just retired at the end of the year, it would solve everyone's problem. But we know he's not going to do that. So, turn the page from that. Malkin doesn't hurt this team. You're absolutely right. He doesn't. He's a point per game per player. Or he's a point person game player. I think I'm trying to understand what you're saying there. Yeah, he's putting up points. You're right. He's top 5 in points for the Penguins every season for the last, 5 seasons? Like, I know longer, but I'm trying to say, like, while we're sucking. So use that as a framework. While we're sucking, not while we were good, because, obviously you want him, and he was younger. But Malkin, in the last couple years, yeah, he's been in the top 5, top 3, maybe, points for the Penguins, right? So you're right. The cap hit is where I have a trouble with, because I know this is the biggest issue. He's making 6.1 a year. I know the cap is going up. But does he deserve a raise? I don't think so. That is where I say no. I draw the line at that. If he truly wants to be a Penguin, he needs to take a pay cut. And I'm okay with re-signing Evgeny Malkin. He needs to take a pay cut. That's the only issue. And as for Chinikov, your last point, I agree. Having another Russian who has been there, done that, who has the level of, hey, you need to be good. That speaks volume for Chinikov. And I'll say, sure. I'll say, yeah, that's a good point. But that's the only guy he's talking to, though. Where was this the rest of his career? Do you know what I'm saying? Where was this going forward? Is he just liking the Russian kid? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a valid point. Why hasn't he done this before? And before you start typing, he has always been a guy that you could not figure out who to play with. The last couple years, his line has been a revolving door. Okay? It's been a rotating list of names. Sid, very easy to play with. That's the reason why you just throw the best guys up there. Easy guy to play with. Malkin, not so much. And I'm not saying that's a negative, but it's very hard to, as your point here, benefit from the young guys being around Gino. It's not a benefit totally. Because he is a selfish hockey player sometimes. And that's not good for young guys. You need to be selfless. And that's actually what Sid preaches. Play your game, but we got to work within each other. Know where we're at. I don't think Malkin does that. Malkin's a good hockey player, don't get me wrong. But it's night and day. So, not bashing Malkin. All I'm saying is he clearly wants more money. He makes 6.1 now. He wants more money than what he's making currently. And I know that for a fact because we would have already re-signed him if he came under 6.1. I don't think you could prove me wrong on that because that's a no-brainer, right? You just explained it. This is 100% right. You're not wrong on this. Now, you're wrong on this if he's asking north of $6 million a year. That's where I'm like, Then it's just nostalgia giving him a paycheck for thanks for being in black and gold. Forte, man, this Malkin bash now gave me a bad taste in my mouth after such a great win. Sorry, I don't mean to give you a bad taste in your mouth. It was a great win. I told you. How did we even get on this, then? I don't even know how we got on this. Oh, because Armand says, because he talked about, he wants to play for 2 more years. That's it. That's the reason why we got on this. And that was the only reason why I got on the Malkin train. That's the only thing. It's not Malkin bashing. I swear it's not Malkin bashing. I thought I explained it well. You love him, but he annoys the crap out of you. That's me. I love him. It's that. RR3K responds saying fair, but Malkin always get the scraps for wingers. Every time Sid went down, Malkin stepped up, but in reality, we just got better wingers with a good Letang. But you're right. If it's about money, then pass. Yes. Right. And that's what I'm saying, because I welcome re-signing Evgeny Malkin, but he needs to know that you cashed out when Hextall, when he gave you that big paycheck. That's when you cashed out. You can't use that now. You're on the tail end of your career, literally. Max 3, like even if we said 3 years at like 2 million per, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Let's do that. Or 3 million per. If they did three by three, I would be like, oh, great, cool, makes sense. Retire with Sid. Yeah, that makes sense. I know I get hate for it, but I'm just trying to, like, when are we going to move on? That's all I'm saying. But you're right, Forte. You're right, Forte. Let's get back on track. It was a great win tonight. It was a great win. Re-sign Mantha. I think Mantha, sign him for another year. Sign him for 2 years. I'm okay with that. I think Mantha played really great. Malkin also always got paid more than Sid for a payout. So time for a payout, Gino. Sorry. Wait, hold on. Hold on. It's late. Forgive me. Malkin also always got paid more than Sid. So time for a payout, Gino. So, oh, I see. Like you're expecting Gino to, all right, now pay your dues. Right. That's what I'm saying. We agree on that point. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like Sid always took a pay cut. Now it's your turn to take a massive pay cut. If you want to be here, take a pay cut. Mantha, he's cheap. He's yeah, pay cut. Yep. Yeah. Gino had a great interview in his first game back. I'm drunk. It feels like I am too. Gino had a great interview in his first game back. Okay, so did he say anything fun? Just asking. But yeah, I don't. Sorry, it didn't mean to bring the room down with the Malkin talk. I'm just listen. Now, a question that I have for you guys is: would you? So obviously, our goaltending situation is always weird. It's always has been weird. It whatever the case may be. Artur Shilov's is proving kind of to be more solid than Stuart Skinner. Do you just keep Shilov's and bring up Murashov, but then who? And then who do you? Yeah. I wonder what you guys think. What goalie should we go? Okay, good. I know, guys. I know. The podcast isn't as good without Josh. I know. I know. Thanks for the kind words, IR3K. It's my favorite tandem we've had in a while. What is? What's the favorite tandem? You mean, oh, okay. His first words out of Gino's mouth is, you mean I see penalty box again? Very funny. That's good. And I agree with that too, IR3K. I agree with that too. In regards of the goaltending situation, here's the thing though, like you have to let one goalie walk, right? No matter if they're willing to take a pay cut or not, because Murashov is ready, no, or Blomqvist or whatever the situation with the goaltenders is. Oh, okay. So a lot of you think that Murashov needs another year in Wilkes-Barre. I see. So bring Skinner back. Interesting. 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 I'm okay with that too. I kind of like Skinner. And I'm sure he's willing to take a pay cut for sure. Maximus, welcome in. Couldn't watch, but I see they kicked the best team in the NHL's butt. That's right, dude. What a phenomenal game. Phenomenal game. No, I mean next year. That's what I was asking. Because we were talking about re-signing guys and all that. So I was talking about next year. But you're right. For the playoffs, I wouldn't touch it. We have a good thing going. Skinner does play his role well. Skinner is a goalie version of Marian Hossa. Always loses in the finals. That's true. That is true. Yeah, but Marian Hossa was funny because he was on the Penguins, lost in 08. And then he went to the Detroit Red Wings and lost in 09. So I thought that was pretty funny. Malkin was really good. He had a jump in his step in his return, Maximus. Got 2 goals on the night. Played really well. Played really well. I did give him his flowers, even though I just bashed on him a little bit. So, no, he's really good. He had a jump in his step. It was a good comeback. And, yeah, it was really good. Eric Carlson scored. Yeah, he also had a phenomenal feed to a Mantha breakaway. So, Eric Carlson continuing to play phenomenal. He's playing phenomenal. Shilov's playing phenomenal. Yeah. Hossa won on the 3rd time. So what's that mean? Skinner winning his 3rd time. Stanley Cup with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Is that what that means? Who knows? What? Wilkes-Barre can clinch tomorrow in Latvia. They're in Latvia? Or do you mean Lehigh? Lehigh Valley. I think we need 1 win. And Crosby coming back this week. I'm confused on the Crosby timeline. I feel like no one knows when Crosby's coming back. But he's in practice every day in a non-contact jersey. Oh, it's a Canada trip. Latvia's is what? Latvia? Am I an idiot? I thought Latvia was in Europe. You mean Laval? No. Yeah, Laval Rocket, right? You mean Laval, not Latvia. Or do you mean Latvia? And is Latvia in Canada? No. Dude, Daddy Dubas cooking is that 6'8" monster player. Another fine. Wait. Oh, you mean Soderblom? Dude, Soderblom was moving tonight. Soderblom was moving. Laval. Okay. Laval Rocket. That's what I thought. I was like, Latvia? Why are they in Latvia? No. You're good. You're fine. Yeah, Latvia was Latvia. See, guys, I'm tired too. Yeah, Latvia is in Europe. Okay, thank you. Maybe it's a round for GeoGuessr. No, I'm just kidding. Soderblom looked good. I thought, honestly, when we picked him up, when we traded for him, I thought he was just a Wilkes-Barre guy. I thought he was immediately going down to Wilkes-Barre, and that was going to be the end of what we hear from Soderblom. But man, has he kind of proved himself here? He's massive. He has guys bouncing off him. He could skate. It's not like he's slow. He can move the puck. Obviously, he can get in front of the net. He did that today. So he did it a couple times actually. Just a nice feed to you. I mean, didn't he get it to Achari? So got it to Achari. Got his own goal. Soderblom looked good tonight. So I can't hate on him. You know. I'm just reading comments. Sorry if you're just. I'm staring. No brother tonight. No, Josh fell asleep. Ethan, welcome back. Yeah, Josh fell asleep. he fell asleep, and I know the podcast is better with Josh. I get it. There was already a comment saying that Josh is the better one. I get it, but When's the next game? Let's take a look. So the next game, I know we're still on the West Coast trip. Uh, oh no, we're not in the West Coast anymore. We go to Carolina. We go to Carolina on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Thank. Oh, hey, we're wrapping up here too. Good night, NES. Thank you for hopping on. Hope that TikTok gets better for you, and you know, it's not like we can help you, but if you're anything, if there's anything we could do, let us know. Um, 7 o'clock start. Thank God on Wednesday. So thank you. You two get along as kids. Yeah, Josh and I were pretty close. Fun fact, if you didn't already know, Josh was a Flyers fan growing up, so he wasn't even a Penguins fan. It wasn't until he matured when he was a teenager, he switched over to Penguins, and then we obviously started watching the Penguins together. But I was always a Penguins fan. He was a Flyers fan, so we got along as kids, but we always got in fights because we would always watch Flyers versus Penguins, and obviously that started fights. So, and you're my favorite. You don't have to say that. And I'm not looking to be the favorite out of the two. Um, the podcast is good. It's a collective, so it's me and Josh. Um, so no, I would never let him live that down. No, so it was actually pretty great. I remember that moment too when he told me he was like, because at the time he wasn't really like into hockey. Like I was the hockey guy. So in my family, my dad's favorite when we were growing up, the sports I was like my dad's favorite was football. So we watched football. Obviously, that's what he would be known for. And then my brother was actually basketball growing up. Josh was really into basketball. Still is, but like that was his sport. Like he would take the remote control and put on basketball. Dad would be football. Mine would be hockey. So I'd be watching the Pittsburgh Penguins. So yeah, and then eventually he told me like we were like teenagers or whatever, and he was like, I think it wasn't like he was taking hockey more seriously, but he was just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna start rooting for the Penguins. And this is like in between. This is like 12, 13, 14. Yeah, it was like around those like years, and he was just like, yeah, I think I'm gonna root for the Penguins now, and so that way we're all one family. And I was like, yeah, that's good. And then it wasn't until um, I was in Florida with my wife, and I was like, you know what, I really want to do a podcast for the Penguins. And Josh and I would call each other after every single Penguins game anyway, just to like chat about it because we would watch it, and that was like our connection as brothers. We would call each other after every single Penguins game, and especially during the playoffs and stuff like that, seasons prior. So we would always call each other. We'd always like rant and talk. And what you see on this podcast is what the phone calls were. I'd be very emotional, very high, like freaking out. Josh would be the calm, collected one. He's like, well, you gotta do that. So I was just thinking, man, we should do this on on the podcast. So we didn't really have the resources to do what we're doing now. It was started off as a weekly podcast, and then obviously it grew and grew and grew. It's our 5th season doing this, so yeah, I'm thankful that he's a Penguins fan now, and yeah, it's a fun thing that I get to connect with my brother, and I love him, and it's great. So yeah, we get along still to this day. And there are times where we argue on this thing, and after we end the live, we have to like break it down. We have to break it down, and we have to calm each other down. And sometimes we go too far. Sometimes just as brothers do. So it's good. I think it's really great. It keeps us connected. That's like my friend switching from the Niners to the Pats when they started winning because Steve Young retired was his reason. Well, Josh was in a bandwagon. We weren't like winning. Uh, I think this was during the time of like the rivalry between the Flyers and the Penguins, like when we would meet each other in the playoffs, and it was just so like aggressive and rough, and it wasn't like we were winning. So like the both teams were equally good at the time, but yeah, he decided to switch, and then obviously it paid off in 16 and 17, but yeah, so it was good. He's not a bandwagon. I will defend Josh in that he's not a bandwagon jumper. Um, he's just switched on to the family team, if that makes sense. The one thing he does not root for as the family is football. Josh is a Tennessee Titans fan. The family is a Minnesota Vikings fan. But everything else I think we agree on. Oh no, baseball. Baseball, baseball. But my family doesn't care about baseball. Josh is a Yankees fan, always was. He hasn't wavered. Me, on the other hand, I have wavered. I started off as a Phillies fan. Then, oh no, that's pretty much it. Phillies fan. Then when I got married, it's called compromise. And she was a Red Sox fan, and she was like refusing. She was like, I'm not going to root for the Phillies. So I said, all right, that's it's I like baseball. I love baseball. It's kind of lower on my list. So I was like, you know what? I'm willing to compromise. I'll be a Red Sox fan. And honestly, I'm into it. I watch it more than she does. So, I my wife's great gripe with me is that there's sports always on. Like I'm watching a sport. So me and Josh are both Nashville SC fans. So MLS. I watch soccer. So I'll have that on. Like right now is like prime. It's fantastic. You got the World Cup. The World Cup. You got the baseball classic going on. I was watching that yesterday. Nashville SC the day before. Obviously, Penguins is nonstop. So Abby is always like, "There's always a game on," and I'm like, "Yeah, there is." There was a time where I was watching lacrosse, dude. My cousin. Oh, all right. It depends when. Okay, I looked. We need either a win or overtime loss to clinch on Wednesday in the vault. All right, cool, sweet. And we're still early, right? So we're doing pretty well. We're probably crushing it. I haven't, I haven't had a chance to really dive into Wilkes-Barre. My cousin made me a Mets fan. I don't talk to him much. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Been lucky with the Pens, at least one cup every decade. So I started rooting for them in 1990. Oh, that's nice. 91, 92, 09, 16, 17. Yeah, pretty good. Um, Born and raised in Pittsburgh. It's in my blood. Yeah, yeah, dude, I get it. I wish I was one. I trust me. I live in Pittsburgh. Me and Abby would go to like restaurants on a Sunday, like after church, and we're sitting there, and obviously the TVs are all Steelers, and everyone's rooting for it. Yeah, would you like? Do you wish you're a part of it? But no, you got to stay true to what your family is. And speaking of, my dad's there. Don't forget about the UFL football. Yeah, we're Battlehawks fans. So that's coming on. That's coming on next week, actually. Next week, the UFL is back on. So that's good. We're going to watch that. All right, yeah. So the Penguins, the Wilkes-Barre Penguins are second in the Atlantic. All right, nice. Good to know. But yeah, I'm okay with it. Listen, I think you're okay. I think you're okay. You don't have to be from where you're from. I think you can root for whatever team you want as long as there are valid reason. So to your point, Maximus, like I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. We didn't pick that team because it's a bandwagon. Like we always lose. you're it's the curse, like you're watching, that's your team. And there are years where I'm like, I wish I wasn't, but you know what? That's your team. So I'm a Vikings fan. I'm a Red Sox fan by marriage. So it's not like a bandwagon. Even though we got married in 2020, didn't they win in 2018? So it wasn't that reason at all. I was a Phillies fan, so then they won recently too. So anyway, MLS Nashville isn't the greatest, and I'm thinking obviously the Penguins. I've been a Penguins fan since that was my sport, so I obviously watched them from Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, where my dad had season tickets, and we would go every single time, and it was great. And I'm trying to think, did I miss a sport? Basketball. Oh, Josh and I, um, we were born in New Jersey, so obviously New Jersey Nets, then became Brooklyn Nets, so we're Brooklyn Nets fans. Does your wife like sports or just tolerate them? She just tolerates them. She loves going to events. So if I go, oh, we're going to a hockey game, she loves that, and she likes the game. Like she'll watch and enjoy it. But if I were to say, hey, let's watch a Penguins game, she'd be like, I'd rather read, and I'm like, that's okay. Sundays though, she does like watching the Vikings. She does like watching the Vikings. She loves the skull chant and all that. So she does like that. So we're getting like she wants merch and stuff, all that. Oh, college football. Thanks, Dad. College football is Michigan State, and the only reason that was the compromise in marriage. So when I came, I don't watch really college sports. Um, I kind of fleeced Abby on this deal, if I'm being honest. She's asleep right now, so I kind of fleeced her on the deal. I'm kind of a Kyle Dubas when I came to the negotiating table. Because I said, first of all, I told her, I said, here are two non negotiables. One mostly, which is the Pittsburgh Penguins. I was like, if you're not a Penguins fan, I don't know if we could get married. And she will attest to this. I've said that to her, and she thought I was joking at first, and I was not. So Pittsburgh Penguins, she had to be a Penguins fan. So she was a Red Wings fan before that, and she said okay. And then I said, you got to be a Vikings fan. That's my other thing. You have to be a Vikings fan. You can't be a Detroit Lions fan. They're in the division. I am not going to have a house divided. Did I use some biblical scripture to enforce my point? Absolutely. But she was like, okay, I'll be a Vikings fan. But you have to be a Michigan State football fan. Right? So that was her deal. She was like, I'll root for the National Football League, your team, but you have to root for my college team. And then I was like, I don't really watch college football, so I'll fleece her on that one. So I was like, okay, deal. Right? And then I said, you have to be Brooklyn Nets fan because I was born in Jersey. And she's like, I don't really watch basketball, so you can have that one. And I was like, great, cool. And then she was like, baseball. You have to be a Boston Red Sox. And I was like, okay, deal. So the last sport was MLS, which was soccer. And I was just getting into that because of the World Cup at the time. And I was like, oh, I want to pick a team, so why don't we pick a team together? And we first picked DC United. We picked DC United. It was one of the original 6 teams. We liked it. It was great. And then they did some political stuff where me and Abby got a bad taste in our mouth about it. So we picked Nashville SC, which became, when they came into the MLS, we just hopped on that. So that's when we hopped on, and Josh was a fan of Nashville SC. So we were like, oh, great, family MLS. Nothing beats. Maximus said can't get it. Oh wait, before you said that, you said a lot of good Vikes players. I enjoyed them. Yeah. I mean, we always have talented football players. I always feel like we have one of the best in the National Football League, but somehow we just never win. We had Adrian Peterson, the best running back, or go back further. We had Randy Moss, the best wide receiver, couldn't win the Super Bowl. Then he had Adrian Peterson, the best running back, couldn't win a Super Bowl. He also beats his kids. Then we have Justin Jefferson now, best wide receiver in the National Football League, can't win a Super Bowl. Got to figure out who's throwing to him, but maybe this is the year. I don't know. We'll find out. And then you said, can't get into the MLS. I tried. It's night and day watching European and MLS. and then they moved it to Apple. So I gave it. Yeah, I agree with that. It's very. I watch it illegally because I am not paying Apple a $19.99 subscription just so I can watch soccer. I think that's a little ridiculous. And I heard Apple lost a lot of money. So due to this, or MLS, excuse me. MLS lost a lot of money because Apple kind of gatekeeped the MLS. So that's an issue for the league because they want growth, but Apple is like, oh no, the only way you can watch this is through us. So they lose a lot of money. I think they're abandoning Apple TV next year. Like you could still watch it on Apple, but you could watch it on other platforms as well. So I think that's what's happening. We'll find out. Dad says Penn State, but you're not a Penn State fan. You're now a Michigan University. Steel Curtain Baby says that depends what I know. You're Pittsburgh born and raised, and you're also, I'm assuming, Riverhounds, which is great. Which then means if you follow the track, would you be a who is it? Who's our MLS affiliate? For Riverhounds, isn't it Columbus SC? I think that's the majors there. T-Mobile Tuesday have free MLS season pass, I think. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, I would encourage MLS. I think it's great. I think it's a good because it's good. It's really good. But yeah, I want to first say thank you guys all for watching, for coming on. It's late. It's 1:20 a.m. Dad, I don't know why you're still up. I'm watching on Facebook, but appreciate. Thank you. Oh, did the Pens win? I don't follow the Riverhounds, to be honest. I only watch them in the playoffs to see if they won the champ. They won last year. They won the league, so that's crazy. Ever been to a Nighthawk game? Those are fun. Oh, so those are that's lacrosse in Rochester, right? That's Rochester Nighthawks. It's pretty cool. Hartford Wolfpack. Oh, I've been to a Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins game, and they played the Hartford Wolfpack, so can't sleep. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have a hard time sleeping too, and then I gotta wake up at like 6 a.m. So that's gonna be rough. But I think this is a perfect time to end it here. I appreciate all you guys. The music's on. The music's on, which you know what that means. But I appreciate all the questions. I appreciate all the conversations. I do play tennis. I'm a big tennis guy as well. So that is going on. That's right, Dad. That is true. Which the Indian Wells tournament just ended. Sinner won that, which is great. Minor league hockey. Yep, that's AHL. But guys, thank you so much. Maximus, I hope you get some sleep. Dad, hope you sleep as well. Did the Pens win? Hope you get some sleep. Appreciate all you guys watching, being a part of the community. It means a lot. It really does. The fact that we have people watching at 1:23 a.m. on a Tuesday is wild, is unbelievable, and we couldn't do it without you. So thank you for being with us through the Malkin rants, the celebratory wins. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one. Lower your volume, close your ears. Thank you for watching, TPC. We'll see you in the next one, which is Thursday, Carolina Hurricanes, 7 p.m. We go live right after on all social media platforms. We'll see you in the next one. As always, let's go Pens.